Hello, Internet. Welcome to Troy Fury. And today, we are, Today, I'm making a video about... Today, I'm making a video about the roleplay. The timeline, I guess, broadly, this is more baseline on, basically anything and everything that happened explained by Troy, and it's the stuff that I know. So basically, baseline, this is a headcanon, but I want to say this is canon because, basically, the roleplay is a simulation. It's basically canon, and there's a lot of evidence towards it that a bunch of other characters done, and there's code. People can change their code. There's a lot of evidence for, the simulation. But you might be asking, who's crazy enough to make this type of simulation? Let me introduce you to me and Jasmine's headcanon. Michael and Carrie Huang made the roleplay. So our headcanon is that Michael and Carrie were bored, and they wanted to see what people would do with their characters. So they just made a server, and they're like, we should, look at what these people are doing. And the roleplay born. Boom. The Leafy one was born. Okay. Leafy one is a demigod, and she was abandoned as a kid. And then she became a god of destruction and chaos and evil until a meteor crashed into her, and then she lost power and became kind of good. I think that's what happened to her. I'm sorry, this is terrible explanation. Probably don't even know what it is, guys. I don't even like him. I guess. Blushes, looks away. I don't even like you that much. Ooh, Cinderace. I might be sick after this. Leafy One then created the world that the roleplay is on. Or is... Look. Technically, there's been different worlds that the roleplay's on. And because of the games that we play keep shutting down, we make the roleplay on the game, and then the game gets executed by the Grim Reaper. We are the Grim Reaper. If we make a roleplay on your BFDI game, you're gonna die someday. You're gonna die sooner than you think, and everyone's gonna wish you come back, but you can't because someone lost the files to the game. Or, you don't want to be object show related, which is reasonable. You want to branch out, but come on. Come on, one of those object show roleplay games. Come on, why did you have to do that to us? You also remade your game and then reopened it and then shut it down again. Anyways, I'm getting off tangent. Then Leafy 1 created Leafy 2 as her first creation, I guess. Now, Leafy 2 and Leafy 1 are married. Now, gods aren't supposed to do this, and I mean, I don't know. Is Leafy one a demigod? Whatever. God, demigod, whatever. They're basically is. I don't know. I got this stuff confused. I'm bad. And then Leafy one probably made everyone else on Earth at the time, or something like that. And boom. Now this roleplay is 5 years old, and I've only been here for basically 3 years. So, I missed like 2 years of stuff that I don't really know. So, I'm just gonna talk about what I did before I joined the roleplay. What I did before I joined the roleplay. So, what I did was, I played as Ruby, and she got raped by Pen. And Needle sexually assaulted Nickel and Coiny, but she was being controlled by Pink Pain. Okay, so I have to say something. I was young, and I was immature, and stupid, and freaky. Online. I was actually very against swearing in school. I was very strict about people swearing in school. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you say at school, actually. I'm very chill. Which I'm glad that I've changed into, like, instead of being the teacher's pet, I've turned into a bully, which I think is an evolution. I think I've taken a step up in the right direction, but it's still in the wrong direction, you know? But still the right direction, guys. Son, I'm crying. Sony. A little more? That's quite not my tempo. You're losing pace. Pick it up. Wrap it up, buddy. I also... Pesticide. Now, Pesticide lore, the reason why they... Basically, he burnt down the city, and he was a human before he turned into an object, and he has very bad trauma. It's also gay. Let's not talk about that part for long. And the reason why I made him that lore is because I thought he was a gas tank. I thought he was a tank of gas. And I thought pesticide was another word for gas. Because, well, this kind of looks like fuel, so, gotta make a backstory for this guy. So, burning a city he did. And that's where our long-term friendship came from. Anyways, back to the actual roleplay I was supposed to be talking about. Now we can talk about when I joined. I got a broom. Okay, so when I joined the roleplay, it was complete accident. Well, not really accident. Basically, I didn't watch BFDI at all. I had no clue what BFDI was, and I just went off of the knowledge I did. And one of the knowledge was, for some reason, I really liked Needle. I really liked shipping Needle with both of the coin characters. I think that was the first ship I've ever done. And so with that, me, Needle, at the time, as one of the main character I was, until my main character now is Pink Paint. I think I'm only 2 I think there's other few roleplay members that had one of their main characters change. Basketball's another one. Basketball used to went from being basketball to gun because basketball killed herself because of religious belief. I think that's the lore reason. And now they're gun. Where's that? Basketball just can't be brought back. But there's a permanent death recovery center, but like. Oh yeah, there's a permanent death recovery center. I'll talk about what that means. So I go in, and the roleplay members I see and know is Leafy 1, Leafy 2, both are the original creators with Fiery, but I didn't meet Fiery at the time. There's 2 Fieries? I think early on. Well, not early on. I never met any of the Fieries. Nickel and Pandora, which I have mixed feelings about. I feel like everyone has mixed feelings about Pandora. Which, I liked Pandora. I think Pandora was quite funny, but also really freaky. And it did not help with how I used to be. Tennis ball, basketball. There, finally basketball. Grassy. There's 2 Grassies. One of the Grassies got banned from the roleplay, and I don't know if that original Grassy is that Grassy. And then there's X, 4, and 2, which would come on sometimes, rarely. And Pen, which showed up later on. But Pen was multiple characters also. Wait, no. I think it's either Pen was other people or Pen was just Pen. I think Pen was just Pen, not other people. This other person would be Mousetrap and other characters. I can only remember Mousetrap, but I think this person also was Bommy. Hypnotist Bommy, but that's also kind of weird. Anyways, yeah, that's everyone I can remember right now. Cool, isn't it? Yeah, pretty neat. Basically, they'll live in Non-Kennedy Cave, and that's where they roleplayed. When I first joined, the first things I was like, do you really want a tennis ball? I think, no. Else. I forgot who, so I think Nickel was the one that asked, do you want to join the roleplay? You know, sometimes it can be violent and weird. And then Tennis Ball shot someone with a minigun right as I joined. And I was like, yeah, of course I want to join this, bro. It looks so peak. It took me a while to become friends with Leafy. And boom. Budding relationship with the roleplay. It's so peak. Pandora showed Needle to the hot tub, and then Pandora flirted with Needle, which is a crazy thing if you think about it. I just joined, and this person that I don't know and just met is flirting with me in the roleplay. Think about that for like 10 seconds. I'll give you it. I'll give you 10 seconds. I think I gave him long enough to process. Why? I didn't think Fog. What the hell am I saying? Bro, channel chip. Haha, it's me, Mickey Mouse. Haha, We're only 14 minutes in, and we're like, I've been in roleplay for only 3 years, and we're not even a year in. We're barely. I just got here, and we're only 14 minutes in. Let's take those ships. Malitza. My grandma just got shot down by a bazooka. I think about it every time I hit the hookah. Kaboom, kablow, kachoo. I was in my room trying to teach my little sister, and then I heard a noise that sounded like a missile. What that was, who it is, to the next. Needle had a diary, and keep this in mind, Needle's diary would become a very important plot point for no reason. Like, that diary was important for no reason. I don't know why. I just wanted to create suspense with something, because I thought diaries were super interesting. I guess it kind of are. But basically, Needle's diary tells a story of her feelings for people. At first, she wrote down about how her crush on Coiny and Nickel. Now, I have something to say. There is two AUs my characters come from. There is the idea of BAU, which just BFB never happens, and basically the characters have a normal life, and Pen is a pedophile. And Pesticide is from that one, and he burns down the city. I think I should put this right here so I can, like, walk around. And the other one is a BFBAU. A BFB doesn't split, which a few of my characters come from. Mainly Ruby is from that one. Like, the owner of Ruby Co. But, like, that's a little bit later. A little bit more. It's not quite my tempo. So yeah, also from that BFBAU, Pink Paint is from there, and a weird, crazy, obsessed Needle, which is a Needle that sexually harassed people. Back on track. And Needle's diary also switched from talking about those coins into mainly talking about her relationship with Pandora. She went from liking Pandora, really liking her, into their relationship becoming a love-hate relationship, which was very toxic for Needle, mainly, because Pandora's a sick person, man. Pandora's a sick person. She really likes knives and killing people that disagree with her. And her family is dead, I think. Pandora's a demon. Pandora, like, had a whole expedition about her backstory and stuff that I forgot, because that's later, still. One time, I got bored. So I wanted to do something interesting. Now, one of my other characters from the Pesticide story and stuff with Dummy Dirty was Grandfather Clock. I wanted to do something interesting. So, I just threw it out there, and Grandfather Clock told Pink Paint to assassinate Leafy 1. But there was this one time when Pink Paint got sent from the past to the future. It's literally actually very important. And met Leafy 1 and saw they were pretty chill, so they would promise never to kill her in their past. Now, does this create a time paradox where if past Pink Paint never came to the future, they would just never saw that Leafy 1 was actually chill girl? Possibly. But not gonna worry about that. Cause why would we worry about that. Right now. Oh, that's blood. Oh, that's blood. Oh, I'm bleeding. Pink Paint then heard about Leafy One being lonely and not having any friends. So Pink Paint was like, "Hey, I'm walking here. You wanna make a deal where we become friends, mobos, and I can." Friends, and I can give you more friends. Oh yeah, sure, that sounds nice, I guess. And boom, their friendship begins. Wow. Then, Pink Paint stumbles upon one of the worst people ever, Pandora. Now, Pandora might be the one reason why Pink Paint hates books, and that is true. Pink Paint hates books, all books, just because of Pandora, and it's like, no. Pink Paint is very racist towards books, and it's because of one particular book. I feel like that's how all racism starts. You know, there's one person of this race that you don't like in particular. And you're like, I don't like all of these people. I don't like all of them because of this one guy that's a part of their race. I don't like all of them because of that one guy and that one time. I think they all suck and we're all better. That's stupid, by the way. Don't be racist. I am a building and I'm moving to you. Don't be racist. I am a building. Yeah, I think you should listen to that song video. That video scared me. Now, one of other Pink Paint's mission was to destroy the farm thing. There was a weird farm thing inside the non-Kidney cave, and Pink Paint wanted to burn that down with a flamethrower, but Pink Paint was stuck by Pandora. Next, Pink Paint was just bored, so they went in there, and yeah, one of their sites. Pandora was looking at Winner like this and holding Winner by the leg. I already talked about this in my favorite roleplay moment. Fuck. But Pink Paint saw and are like, oh, and so they told Needle for some reason. Don't ask, it's weird. And Needle was like, oh, well, I gotta warn Mousetrap because Pandora said something about wanting to do it to Mousetrap. I gotta warn him. I guess. So Needle, being the smartest person ever, told Mousetrap to hide and then brought Mousetrap with her. And then they, made out. They made out. They had a little make-out session. That never happened. I don't know. Needle was very oddly, particularly protective of a few people, and Mousetrap was one of them after that. Then Pandora put on the Rosie suit, which Pandora became way more dangerous, way more freaky. Needle theorized that because of the suit, Pandora had changed personalities and she just became more dangerous of herself. It made the most sense to me at the time. I don't know if that's true, but I think that's what happened. Needle and Pandora both took pills that made them bark at each other and call themselves pets. Dude, fucking freaks. And then Pen came, and Pandora fell in love with Pen. Oh, Penn was with Saw, and Penn also worked at Yellow Warehouse. Now, I want you to tell you something. Penn was the reason why I made Needle work at Rubico, because having a character that also went to work was a pretty funny, smart idea. The FBI came into a courthouse, and I don't know what happened because I joined late, but like, something was going on at the courthouse. Neptune, but it wasn't Neptune because Neptune wasn't Neptune yet, but I don't know who they were. I think was the main person that was doing this, or it was Grassy. It was either both of them. But like, the FBI attacked like the courthouse, and that time Needle was just looking for Pandora. And like anytime Penn brought up Saw, Pandora would like throw knives, and Needle even brought it up. Like, I think you're kind of jealous of Penn being with Saw. I think that's like a main problem that you have. I'm just saying. And Pandora proceeded to like throw a lot of knives at Needle and kill Needle. Whoop-de-whoop-de-doo. And I already talked about this too, but Needle and Pandora both hold Nickel naked. So wonderful, guys. That's so great. That's so amazing. Next step. The game closed, so we had to switch to a new game, and that was one of those roleplay games. One of the BFB roleplay games. The cast here: Leafy 1, Leafy 2, Coiny, Robot Coiny. I think there was another character, like maybe Gelatin. I remember Gelatin, kind of. Cake. Yes, Cake. Cake. I remember seeing Cake a few times at this time. Bommy. Pandora, but less often. Pandora didn't come on as often as she used to. Fiery. Finally Fiery. Guesty, which Guesty has announcer and a lot of other characters. Mainly the announcer, Metal Ball, and this whole other... Leafy 1 joined the company to protect the universe, and that was only for this time frame. Like, that company has been brought up... before I got rudely interrupted. I think I gotta plug this stuff up. Now remember, this stuff is still not even a year from me joining. It hasn't even been a year since I joined, and we already switched it to a new game. I mean, this stuff happened... Yeah, still not even a year. Penn, but Penn, like, rarely came on. I think I saw, like, Penn once, and that was something that I talked about still. Plant! And this also is a time when Pink Paint became one of my more common used characters, as one of the biggest things happened, Pink Paint controlled Needle. And Needle also got in trouble for not working at her job, because she was employed. Now, what I'm going to talk about is the Insanity arc, and how basically Pink Paint tried to steal Leafy 1's power a few times. And 2, Leafy 1, Pink Paint, and Plant were like the bestest of pals. They were so close. About time, Pink Paint didn't understand and couldn't feel love for anyone or anything. But still, you know, Pink Paint could feel something weird and off about why they liked being with these people. Just saying. Someone, I think it's Rose, I think Rose gave the idea to Pink Paint to make Leafy 1 go insane. And this was probably one of the best long-running things ever. Pink Paint would become other people and pretend to be them and call Leafy 1 and, like, call her horrible and how we don't like you. It was like Leafy 2 and I think Nickel? One of the persons that they said was Pandora, and Pink Paint was like, I would never be Pandora, not in my daily darling life. I'm never. Also, at this time, I don't know why, but Pink Paint, I was doing the animatic battle voice, and you know, animatic. I was doing that voice for Pink Paint whenever they controlled somebody. It was a weird time. Anyways, once Pink Paint did this, and they told Leafy 1 that you were actually killed in a hiking accident, and this is you just in a coma. And that was the funniest stuff ever. And Leafy 1 was like, "No, you're lying." No, it's true. Look at this totally real footage I have in your head. This is one of your memories. Pink Paint basically had none powers. Pink Paint's only power was shapeshifting and controlling people and becoming a Pink Paint puddle. This was, something weird. But hey, now's your chance to be a big shot. Pink Paint stole Robot Coiny and basically tried to make them real by putting a soul inside of Robot Coiny, and like, you could be a big shot! Yo, you could be a big shot, a wonderful one, if you just trust the world in the process of being beautiful. Right. You could be a real boy. Real boy. If you just trust the process. No! And then I left. I think my game died. I think my tablet died after that, or something. But dude, that was so peak. Coin payment. I mean, nothing. Pandora jerked Pen off, and Pandora basically like crashed out at Needle and basically broke up with her. I think at the time Pandora wanted to kill herself. yeah, I shouldn't talk about this lightly, but Pink Paint was telling Pandora to kill herself. Pink Paint pretended to be a tennis ball and called Leafy 1 a monster and called himself a monster. But Leafy 2 saw this and found out and put Pink Paint up for public execution. This is basically the only time where Pink Paint has ever been charged for their crimes ever in the roleplay, basically. This one time. And it's because of Leafy 2 not liking them pretending to be tennis ball. Now, Pandora saved Pink Paint and then, asked, like, "Hey, Pink Paint, you wearing any clothes?" No. Why would I be wearing clothes? That's not very good. I'm, like, naked. I'm also non-binary. Oh, yeah, Pink Paint's non-binary, but, like, most people called Pink Paint at this time a girl. People called Pink Paint a girl. Which I think is crazy because most people call Pink Paint a boy now. Which, because of the voice and more people know, kind of. More people know. Like, the small group we're in. Like, no. 30 minutes. It's about to be a whole hour. And we're not even. Oh, Jesus. Holy crap. I should probably make this into a few parts, but I think I'm too far gone. Dude. So, then Pink Paint made a deal with Pant that I'll always remember. Well, not Pant. I mean Plant. Saying like, "I'll always remember you, and I'll make you know that you're remembered by me. But you gotta make people pink." Oh yeah, Pink Paint liked painting people pink. I don't know. It's weird. Leafy 1 goes insane for a little bit before Leafy 2 makes her normal again, and Pink Paint crashes out because they spent all this time for nothing. And then Pink Paint, Leafy 1, and Plant, like, agree on something? I don't know. Pink Paint stopped Leafy 1 from forgetting everything and removing her memory, which is probably the nicest thing they've done to this point, besides helping Plant. And they also let Plant, like, cry into them for no reason. And then the game, like, kind of died. So then we had to go to a new game. Yay. Now, what I'm gonna call this time frame is, everything that happens before Pin, because, God, this is so forgettable. Leafy 2 turns out to be not Leafy 2, and Pink Paint was actually tricked. I forgot to mention that Needle, the crazy one, came back and, like, put Pink Paint in a cage. Weirdo. Pink Paint is a pet to Needle. That Needle. Wowie! Pandora comes on less and less, and now we have the thing again. Roleplay members at this time. Leafy 1, Leafy 2, Neptune, Pandora, but less. Tennis Ball, and other people that I forgot about, kind of. Yeah. Now, we were playing on public servers, so everything we did was on public. Basically, until we switched to private servers at some point. I forgot one. Leafy 1 summons Bill Cipher. I'm sure this happens before Pin. I got Paper Mario at the 1,000-year door. So I just made it a thing. There was a bunch of stars, and Pink Paint used one of them to become Leafy 1. And then, like, tricked everyone that they were Leafy 1. And then they got defeated. Leafy 2 goes in the leaves, and Leafy 1 stops her from leaving. And that is gonna stop today. Because this is long enough, and I don't think you want to watch anymore. Right, guys? You don't want to watch anymore. Or do you?